to perform, less cost takes when you go for the manual testing for small projects. But there are some major disadvantages when you go for the manual testing. What are the major disadvantages we have when you go for the manual testing? First thing, time consuming, inconsistency, lack of reliability. The automation testing. What is the automation testing? In simple, any task if we do with help of the tool or programs is called automation. In general, any task or activity performed with help of the tool or programs is called automation. Such a way, when you automate testing activities in order to validate the application is called automation testing. Is called automation testing. So test engineer directly is not going to interact here. You can use the some third party tools. With the help of that, he can go for the test the application under test or system under test. Okay. But we have the different possibilities for automation testing. Either we can go for the programming languages, or we can go for the scripting languages, or you can use some third party tools like Selenium, Playwright, Tosca, Test Complete, QRN, like this. Any one tool you can use it is.
One question. We have
Yes,
already finished this all topic,
yes,
right?
yes. I'm going to explain the another 10 minutes of the topic more. Just
Oh,
newcomers can understand the concept of what we discussed. That's the reason.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So then, how to go for the project selection criteria? Every project we can't go for the automation testing. Generally, our test manager, who is the responsible to decide, so what type of project we can go for the automation testing. So whereas in general, based on the size of the project, application environment will support to do the automation testing or not. So multiple releases are expecting for a project, more resources required. These are the factors will be considered. Okay, like this. Then there are different kind of tools are there for the automation testing. Tool selection criteria. So what happens here? Tool selection criteria. Sometimes our client will request that specific tool to use it is. Specific tool to use it is. Okay. So specific tool we can use. So suppose so now in present Capgemini is using the EFT tool for the NSE National Stock Exchange website. Last 2 years they're working on the updating that one. So because of the client requested, don't go for the any open source or free tools. I want to go for the this is the tool. So sometimes client strictly they said it. I want to go for this is the tool only. So companies are going to prefer that tool only because client requested. But majority of the cases, our test manager will decide which tool we can go for the automation testing. Here also, test manager. 90% of scenarios, test manager will going to decide which tool we can use for the automation testing. Like three factors remain. One is return on investment. That means how much budget allocated for testing in that budget. So whether we have to go for the free tool means non-commercial tool or commercial tool. Commercial tool means you have to buy the license. Then user usability of the tool, how easy to develop the automation script. Is there any option like recording options? Or manually want to write the script? Is it easy or not? Easy to execute or not? Easy to execute or not? So after execution, will it going to provide the test result or not in the desired format? Means understandable way. These are the various things they are going to consider. Then automation testing team activities. What are the activities automation testing team is going to perform? Tool evaluation. In simple scenarios identification. Framework design. Develop the automation test script. Execution. Reporting. Maintenance. So these are the major activities where automation testing team will perform. Okay, well, these are the things will be considered. So these are the activities, major activities. I'm saying that. Okay, then what type of scenarios are preferred for the automation testing? In general, scenarios which are complex to perform manually, which are more repeatable, those kind of scenarios, we can go for the automation testing. So these are the things where we discussed in the last class. So now today we are going to discuss about the introduction to the selenium. Introduction to selenium. So here, what is the selenium? What is the selenium? So what is the purpose we are learning it is? Selenium is the tool. For what purpose it is? Testing purpose. So is it commercial tool or non-commercial tool? It is a non-commercial tool. Then one of the reason why selenium got the more popularity. Why selenium got the more popular? This is one of the major reason it is. So now observe that we can say it is a free tool. It is an open source tool. So it is a free tool, and we can say it is an open source tool. Sir, I'm not getting what is the difference between these two, free tool and open source tool. Anyone can give idea about it? Because of
It's a free, anyone can access to use this one.
hmm. That is means anyone can access the tool to use it is. That is a
Hmm.
free tool or non-commercial tool. Then what is the second point said that it is an open source tool?
Everywhere we can use it.
So Then instead of saying that it is a free tool or open
Mm-hmm.
source tool, I said it is as under 2 points. The meaning here, open source tool means the Selenium code is available. If anyone want to customize the features of the Selenium, they will go to provide the source code. That's the meaning. The Selenium code is available. If anyone want to add the better features for the Selenium, they will accept it. It is a open source tool. That is the meaning. So now suppose there is a playwright, I go for the Tosca tool is there, commercial tool. If I go to that company, can you give the your tool Tosca tool code? I will add the new features, but they won't accept it. So that is what the difference, no? When we have the free tool, open source. Free means non-common. Anyone can download it, they can use it. Is open source means, let us say, this is the Selenium official website, selenium.dev. If I go for the downloads here, source code of the Selenium is available from the GitHub repository. You can download, you can update the Selenium source code. Understand? Like this it is. There is an open source too. Now, what purpose we are going to use using Selenium? So, testing purpose we are going to use. No, the testing is different kind of tests are there. There is a performance testing is there, security testing is there, functional testing is there, user interface testing is there, usable testing is which one we are going to do. So, where we are able to go for the, so it is a functionality and regression testing tool. So using Selenium, we can able to do the functionality testing. Sir, what is the functional testing? We don't have any idea. Functional testing is what are the features or components are implemented in your application. Those are working or not. To check, we can go for the Selenium. It is a functionality testing tool. And I said the regression testing. Because one time we develop the script is reusable for different versions of the application. But what is the meaning of regression testing? Why we go for the regression testing? Any changes are made in the application. If any changes are made in the application, so due to those changes, any new defects are introduced in the application or not to check test we are going to perform. That is the testing where we are going to call regression testing we are going to say. Okay. So what type of applications we can able to do testing using Selenium? Yes, it supports only what web-based applications. Only web-based applications it will support to go for the testing. That is the reason where we are going to call it is a browser automation tool. It is a browser automation tool we are going to call. So which browser supports? It supports the almost all the popular browsers such as Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Edge browser, IE browser, Opera, Safari. These are the browsers where it going to support. So see my here. So it is a free tool means how they are going to get the money. Some sponsors are there. Those are the sponsors where they are going to work. Okay. These are the different browser supports. Firefox browser. So IE browser earlier supported. Now Safari, Opera, Chrome, Edge. These are the browsers where it going to supports. Different browsers it supports. Same way, different operating systems also it supports. What are the different operating system supports? So Mac OS supports Linux and Windows. Mac OS, Linux and Windows you're going to support. Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, Linux. Okay. Now, sir, whenever you go for the automation testing, from the beginning, I'm saying that we have to develop the automation test scripts. We have to develop the automation test scripts. So different tools, different languages we have to use it is. In Selenium, which language we have to use to develop the automation test script. Whereas Selenium support the multiple languages like Java, Python, C Sharp or .NET. So JavaScript, Ruby. These are the different language bindings we're going to support. .NET or C Sharp, Ruby, Java, Python, and JavaScript. Sima, if they're using Selenium, is only 5% of companies that are going to prefer the Selenium with Python or Selenium with C Sharp. So 95% companies are going to prefer Selenium with Java, they are going to prefer this combination where they are going to prefer. Right. Now, now, so we discuss which browser supports, what type of application supports, which browser supports, which OS supports, which languages supports to develop the automation test script. So I said here mobile application only, but here when you go for the Selenium tool plus Appium tool combination, where we can go for the Selenium plus Appium tool combination, we can go for the mobile application testing. We can go for the mobile application testing. There's a possibility, Satya. Now, when you talk about the Selenium, Selenium is not one component. We have the different components are there under Selenium. So we can say Selenium is suite of tools, combination of the tools, suite of tools we are going to call. So what are the components are there? If I go for the Selenium, what are the various components are there? First one is Selenium IDE. Second one is Selenium RC. Third one is Selenium WebDriver. Fourth one is Selenium. These are the four components are there in the Selenium. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, then Selenium Grid. If I go for the Selenium IDE, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So what is the meaning of that? Where we can write the script, where we can able to compile, where able to execute the script. That is called IDEs we are going to call. Which is software have the characteristics like allows you to write, to go for the debugging, compile and execution. These things we are going to call IDEs we are going to call. Like Selenium IDE is there. Selenium RC. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. Okay, RC means remote control. Now Selenium WebDriver, WD WebDriver, Selenium Grid. But if you go for the official website, so we have only three components are there. What are the three components? Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, Selenium Grid. And which is more highlighting here red, Selenium WebDriver. That is only the important component. Okay, Selenium IDE is there, Selenium Grid also is there, but those are not that much used in the companies. So they have to go for the WebDriver. So let me explain here. What is Selenium IDE? So it is an directly we can't install the Selenium IDE into your system. So as a plugin for the Chrome, Firefox, and Edge browsers, we can use it. Is okay. Selenium IDE we can use as a plugin for the Firefox and Chrome browsers, where it works on the record and playback mechanism. Recording and playback mechanism. So, what is the meaning of recording? Recording nothing but here it is able to convert our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation test script. Suppose you click on the login button, script is going to generate. You enter the email, script is going to generate automatically. That is the recording we are going to call. Converting our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation script is called recording. Right. Same way, there is a run button. If you go for the run button, so when you execute your automation script, at that time, by default, recording time, whichever operations you performed on your application, same operations it will play back. That is the record and the playback we are going to call. Okay, but there are a lot of limitations. So same script I want to execute 5 times. I can't go for the loops like this. Or the script is there. I want to pass the different kind of values to check the login functionality. That is also not possible. The parameterization is not possible. Script is not repeatable. We can't use the loops like for loop, while loop. We can't use it. Is these are the limitations are there when you go for the SIM ID. That is the reason in real time it is not going to be preferred for project level. Then why are they implemented? See, when Selenium is introduced in the market at that time, we have some leading automation tools such as QTP, WinRunner. These tools have the recording and playback concept. To attract the new customers, that feature also they implemented as a separate component, the Selenium IDE. But practically, it is not preferred. Okay. Selenium RC. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. Now here, so can execute test cases on different browsers, support different browsers. But there are a lot of disadvantages are there when you go for the Selenium RC. What is the major disadvantage in RC means whichever automation scripts you developed, those scripts are not able to execute on the other browsers. Execution time, the scripts are not going to be executed successfully. That is a major disadvantage we have in the Selenium RC. There is some technical issues where it is unable to recognize the elements. The Selenium WebDriver, which is introduced as an alternative for the Selenium RC. Then Selenium Grid, execute test cases in parallel. Execute test cases in parallel. What is the meaning of parallel? So once I create a script here, in my system. So I can able to connect the multiple systems and I can able to execute all the scripts at a time it is. That is called parallel execution. Five systems I can connect, I can execute by using different browsers or different OS. We can go for the execution. So here, Selenium Grid, we are not going to write any script more. Whichever script already you developed, that script only you have to use it is. Coming to the history of the Selenium. So different versions are the Selenium 1.0. It was introduced by Jason Huggins in 2004. Component Selenium 1.0. At the time of initially, we have the Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium Grid. Whereas Selenium RC, Grid were both are deprecated, right? The Selenium 2.0. Selenium 2.0 was introduced in 2010. Components in Selenium 2.0, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC. Okay, so at the time of Selenium 2.0, they maintained RC also. Later it was deleted. Selenium 3.0, Selenium 3.0 introduced in 2016. Component Selenium 3.0, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC. Okay, well, like this. What are the different versions of the Selenium is there? If you look into here, what is the latest version we have? It shows for us. This is 4.38. When it is given October 25th, that means 10 days back only, you got the new version, Selenium 4.38. Notes also need to update this. So this is the version we have. Selenium 4.8, Selenium 3, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, and Grid 2. These are the various components are there. So most of the cases, stable version 3.14, 1.59. August 12th, they given the Selenium 4.35.0. Now they given October 25th. Like this. Official website is selenium.dev. So previously we have the seleniumhp.org. So now, what are the advantages of the Selenium and what are the limitations of the Selenium? Selenium is free to supports multiple programming languages to develop the automation test scripts. Supports multiple browsers. Can execute test cases in parallel. These are the advantages. Coming to the automation testing, supports only web-based applications. Programming skills are mandatory. See, without have the programming, because automation script, you have to write manually. That's the reason core Java is mandatory, which I'm going to explain to you. Without have that now, you can't work on the Selenium, right? There is a supports only web-based application. Programming skills are mandatory, not user-friendly. No official support is available. It we, so where it won't generate the test results by default. Okay, but this is what the introduction to the Selenium. But even the various components are there in Selenium, where we are going to learn about the Selenium WebDriver. We are going to the Selenium WebDriver. Okay. So tomorrow class I will go to show that. So about the Selenium WebDriver architecture, what are the things are required to install the Selenium system? That also I'll go and explain to you. And who are not there in the group, WhatsApp group, in my WhatsApp group, try to send your mail IDs more so that I can add you into the WhatsApp group where you can collect the notes, recording sessions like that. Okay, there is a class for us today. Tomorrow continue session. Okay, bye. So remember it's 1 hour session, but I'm going to leave the today little bit early it is. Okay, thank you.